So, this should be a quick meeting because we're just talking about a few things. Basically, the status of the project, where the subcommittee is with the architect, number one. So we met, well, we got, I don't know, 3 RFQs came in for the architects. We interviewed all 3 of them with the OPM last week. We ranked them and according to the qualifications, and our number 1 architect turned out to be EDM.
Before we go on with that, has the negotiation started?
So as of last Thursday evening, we sent a formal letter out. Wednesday is when we interviewed them. Thursday, we qualified the candidates, and then Chris has started negotiations with the architect, and they've gone back and forth this week. We're waiting for a price. They're asking questions right now. So hopefully, I mean, we intended Monday, the 23rd, to have the contract signed by the select board, but I don't know if we're going to meet the 23rd because they're in negotiations. So it might be later on that week, at the next select board meeting or the following week. And as soon as we get the contract negotiations squared away, we will have another meeting, a kickoff meeting with the architect and the OPM, just kick off the project, and they'll come and tell us the timeline and what they expect. Although we're fully expecting, and we told all of the architects this when they interviewed, and they knew this, our latest rollout will be December of 2025. Done.
That's our expectations.
We have to be in that building.
Right.
So that puts us 6 months where we have to find housing
Yes.
for,
Yes, but that's on a negotiation with the town.
It sounds like they can stay where they are for 6 months.
Yes.
Max.
Yes.
okay.
So any questions on the status of the project? So everything's moving along. Questions?
And there's, going back to the 6 month on the lease, there's also some contingency thoughts that they could be the first ones to move in if necessary.
Okay, so
Why we're
we
still
would stay, well, this group would stay here, and they might be able to get in first.
a little-
If need be.
If need be.
And that would be a talk with the architect and...
Cost effective for the town as we can.
Right.
Mhm.
And convenient.
Yeah.
When they can finally all go to one building, you know?
Yep.
That'll be huge.
Absolutely.
We think the only thing that's going to slow us down is
Construction part.
construction parts. Yeah. Electrical stuff.
Lead times, equipment.
Yeah, that's it is, just lead time for the equipment.
It's not, that's out of our control.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
But they're talking about some workarounds possibly too, once we
Yep.
get in the works. Some of that stuff that we know it's gonna take a long time
We're going to do first.
with this
Okay.
quarter.
Right. So the town, like for the electrical stuff.
Here when-
Yeah.
They call it
They
the
finally
switch gear,
get
which
to
I guess is
that.
the main brains of an electrical system.
Right.
They're saying some,
Right.
right, so they're saying that some of that stuff almost has a year lead time.
Depending on the
Depending on the
ampage.
size.
So,
So,
there's ways around that too. We can build for 600 but get a 400 in and then exchange it at a later date if need be. But it's the higher level of ampage, that's the problem.
And if the whole building isn't turned on at once, we may be able to use existing power while we're, in order to get,
people in.
Just to
People
get
in.
us through until,
yeah, so that, I think once the architect is on board, and we have the engineers, then the electrical, the mechanical engineers, and they can start thinking through that
yeah, so
contingency
within the
plans.
month, we'll have more of an exact timeline.
No, we'll know probably, well, yeah.
Yeah.
By December, we should have, is it the schematic design done, and we'll know prices and what our budget looks like, if we're going to meet budget or not.
Well, we have to meet budget.
Well, no, I know, but if they,
Yeah, we don't
if
really
they,
have a
right, no,
choice
right.
about that
In other
one.
words, what I mean by that is if they come back in December and say there's no way we can do, after investigating the school and going deeper into the
There's no way we can do this.
requirements, there's no way we can get
For
this stuff
this.
done for 4.7 million. It might be 5.2 million. I don't know what they're gonna say.
No,
The
we won't know.
best case scenario is they come back and say, yeah, better than we thought, and you're on course with the money. So that is status of the project. I put down, for my own understanding, a timeline of what we've done so far, that I made a copy for everybody. Just because I know people have been asking around town if the building is on, what's the deal with the West Street building? Anybody hear anything about it? So, nobody's called me or asked me personally, but people are asking in various places. So I put together this timeline so you guys know what we've actually done. So if somebody asks you, you can say, well, here's what we did in the past year, actually the past year, from when we had the special town meeting to the month we had contract negotiations, the oil tank removal, that took 8 weeks to get the permit. So it goes down our timeline so far, so you can see that we're on schedule. The only thing that knocked us off a little bit was the first round of OPM RFPs. We didn't receive any, so that took another 8 weeks to get it back out and to revise the project scope to make it more
Why don't we
friendly.
just put a copy of this up on the website?
So that's another thing. So when people ask you, you can say all our minutes are on the website, and our videos are all
At GCAM.
on GCAM at YouTube. So if you ever have a question, you can actually see what we've done through minutes and on GCAM. So this I didn't intend it to go up just because I have shorthand in
I
here.
wouldn't put this up.
This is my notes.
Okay.
So for example, you'll see somewhere it says K, just the letter K, that's shorthand. for-
618 to 719.
So I said OPM interviews, OPM selected, and contract negotiations. K stands for contract and legal. Short, yeah. So I didn't expect anyone to see it but me, and then I forgot one. All right, but anyway, so this is for your own knowledge. So if somebody asks, you know what the dates are and what we've done for the most part. So 9/23 is when we hoped that the select board would be reviewing the designer, the architect contract and sign it. So that date could change.
No, let's hope it gets back to it.
Yeah, we could hear tomorrow we can get the price tomorrow, and then Chris, depending on what the price is, will either say great or negotiate.
So it could be, if it's not.
If it's not-
We're going to be like, what, October 7th?
Well, I don't know, the select
next-
board has been revving up some of their meetings, but normally it's every 2 weeks, right? So the latest, I imagine it'll be signed,
There's another one on the 26th, I believe.
would be October 7th. If
You
we,
just grab
What would that be?
No, I'm serious. Is there one? I tried not to know that stuff.
so there's a potential select board
Is it
meeting on the
yours?
26th?
They might not want to go on the 26th.
So I don't know if we have the contract signed, if we can get on that select board meeting.
Is that the only thing on that day? Do you know?
As far as I know.
That's probably plenty.
That's all they wanted on there.
Okay.
So at the latest, I speculate it'll be signed by the 7th of October, in which case the next week we'll have a meeting with the OPM and the
Are
architect.
you here then?
I am here. Yeah, we got to give them a week to get their timelines together.
Yeah.
And for the OPM to familiarize themselves with the architect.
Right.
All right? So you will be hearing from us with a meeting time once we get the architect on board.
Now, for the record, if we're having a meeting, there's no reason why anybody can't show up.
If we're having a meeting, us. Oh, yes, and that's the other thing too.
So-
The public can show up at any of our meetings.
Yeah.
I don't have public comment in our meetings.
Well, there hasn't been any.
Right.
But my point is, if we have a meeting, a subcommittee meeting, and you want to, or you're available, you can be there. Especially for having a meeting, another meeting, just to update everybody.
I don't foresee any subcommittee meetings coming up for a while. I guess, from what I understand, the next subcommittee meeting would be for when the architect goes out for bids for the subcontractors. and then the same thing starts over with the, now, we don't interview them, but we'd have to review the subcontractor bids, so that wouldn't be for a couple months. But as a committee, the public can come to any of our meetings, and if we happen to have a subcommittee meeting, anyone is welcome to that as well. And the last part of business would be, back in early August, Chris received and Dale sent it around to everybody. Pathfinder, their horticulture department chair, was looking for any potential projects for landscaping, which would be great if we were at that point, because we don't have a landscaping budget. So what I would like to do is keep this in the pile for next year, when we're at that point where we might, we can start looking at the outside the building and doing landscaping, and contact this woman for a Pathfinder project.
Should
We
we?
do that now?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
we
say.
said the same thing.
I don't know if it's like when they do like sheds or stuff, but they
It's like a
book
year in
out like
advance?
a year in advance.
Yes.
Because they have to be able to plan their curriculum and their projects.
Okay, so it just says coming up, that our horticulture landscaping programs for Pathfinder Tech could be assistance of. I could discuss it with you before school starts, or if you come up with a project later in the year.
Do you want me
So
to
I-
just call tomorrow and pick
Yeah.
your brain?
Yeah, I mean,
Tell them
I
what kind of
assume you
timeline
meant
we're
this
looking at,
school
you know?
year and not next school year, but you can, yeah, certainly give her a call.
Okay.
Maybe they can get us on the schedule for like September 25 if all
Yeah.
the windows and doors are done and
Or
all
even
that
August.
stuff along the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
whatever, when that part is done and they're not gonna get trampled, then we can start thinking
Get the
about
plans
landscape.
in.
Yep.
You know, or even the spring of 26 at that point, if that's the one they can get us in, but.
Right, heads up for 2025, 26.
Right.
Because at least if they know there's a project on the horizon.
They can
So he
schedule
said,
for
I
it.
think,
I
I
know
think
for
ours was like a
building
year out when
projects,
they
it's
did
a
the,
year out.
the Sally Port, yeah.
Oh, you guys use it before?
They did the
Oh,
Sally Port.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yep. S-
Great.
See, almost $1 million, I think, was they built it for like 300,000 or something like that.
Wow.
It was a huge savings, but there's a lot of management.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's excellent. Good.
So you guys have that in your email, Dale, will contact her tomorrow and let us know.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
the picker brain.
Minutes. So you guys got the minutes, a long time ago for the 7:30 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as,
I'll second.
All in favor? Excellent. So, it's 4:15.
make a motion to adjourn.
Well, before we
Oh.
adjourn, let's,
So close.
Nice try, Chief.
why don't we set a meeting thinking, because we can always cancel it, get a meeting in our calendars for when we meet with the OPM and the architect, assuming we have a signature by the 7th. Which would mean our next, we usually meet Tuesdays, right?
Yep.
I mean, this just happens to be an anomaly, they're meeting on Thursday. So why don't we say October 15th for the next potential meeting?
Here?
Sure, I don't really, doesn't really matter where we meet. I don't know, we can use that if they need,
They just need a cord.
yeah.
Same thing like you did, what we did
Or
at
we can
that
do it
place.
in the conference room.
Yeah.
Either way. Conference room looks like it's free too, so it doesn't matter.
Is it convenient?
Honestly, it's probably more convenient here in the fact that if people do show up. to the
Yeah,
meeting.
there's room.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we'll keep it here, 10:15, senior center, at what time?
Do you need to make it later for the OPM, or can we do it still at 4?
No, once we sign them on, that's part of their daily job.
Okay.
So we can even do it earlier, but it's really you guys. So let's stick it for 4.
Is that good for everybody?
Yep.
And then if the off chance we get it signed on the 23rd, I won't be here to meet the following week. So we could do it the 9th or the 10th. So let's hold out now, let's just wait. Because I don't really see it being signed.
Yeah, the 9th wouldn't work for me.
So then it'd have to be 10th on the Thursday.
10th doesn't work for me.
No.
So hopefully they do meet. Now, give
Doesn't
them
work for
some
me
time
either.
to present to us on the 15th.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so we're gonna say the 15th at 4 PM. All right, go ahead and I'll entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Easy peasy lemon
It's kind of like short and sweet.
Mm.
Woo-hoo.